Hello and welcome to Sydney Harbour for Heats 5 and 6 of the JJ Giltinan 18-foot skiff championships, brought to you by the Winning Group. I'm Peter Shipway, and joining me in commentary today will be our skipper and captain James Bury and Olympic gold medalist Tom Slingsby. It's a lightish day today, all skiffs on their big rigs. We've got two races. The first race will be 2 laps. The course is set at the starting line just north of Clark Island and the beat up into Rose Bay. 1.4 mile beat, 2 laps, 2 windwards and 2 leewards. So firstly to you, Tom, give us an overview of what you see about the weather and your thoughts on today's race.
Yeah, we've got a light easterly, probably between 8 and 12 knots. Everyone on their big rigs today, so we don't have any of that sort of confusion of yesterday and who's going to have an edge or not. Very tough. Again, these southeast easterlies on Sydney Harbour are extremely tough conditions to sail in. Head out of the boat. It's not going to be as much of a boat speed race as picking the wind shifts and sailing in more pressure. So, yeah, they've just got to keep it simple and make sure they're in picking the gusts in more pressure, avoid the light spots in the wind, and whoever does that the best should have the best results.
Well, yesterday we saw 2 races in rather interesting conditions. There was a crossover between the number 2 smaller rig and the big rigs, and there was a day that belonged clearly to Smeg. Michael Cox and Ricky Bridge and Trent Barnabas, they won both races. They were on their small rig and they lead the point score at the moment. In the first race yesterday, Smeg was first, Yandu was second, and the Winning Group third. And then in the second race, which was the 4th heat, Smeg again the winner. Andu, Marcus Ashley Jones on his big rig, was second. And Shaw and Partners, a very impressive third. So we've only had 4 races. There's 9 to go. You can drop your worst performance. And the top 10 on the point score: first is Smeg, second Yandu, third Andu, 4th Noak Sailing, that's Sean Langman, 5th Finport, Keegan York, 6th Shaw and Partners, Jim Colley, 7th The Bird and Bear, James Doran, 8th Yandu, John Winning Senior, 9th The Oak Double Bay, that's Aaron Everett, and 10th The Kitchen Maker, Jordan Gertis. So, Jimmy, I'll bring you in here. What did you read into yesterday's race, and what are you looking forward to today?
G'day, Pete. I thought Andu would have gone on with that yesterday and won that race, the second race with the big rig, obviously. But the speed out of the Smeg is exceptional, and I think they're leading overall, and they deserve that at the moment. I think today won't be as hairy for the guys with the big rigs, that's for sure. It's, as you said, it's pretty light in and around where we are today. But I don't know who else you could really firm up here in this sort of breeze today. It's a bit of a weird one. Smeg, I guess whoever's got the bigger sails is the Finport. Appliance Online have the big rig, and so does Royal Oak 4 Pines. So I think those 3 should be the ones to watch today. That's for sure.
We haven't got starting signals yet, but I might bring you in here again, Tom. Let's talk about Tech 2 yesterday. They were 6th in Heat 3, and then in the second race yesterday, they had an incident, a port and starboard incident with Appliances Online. And I think at the time we were watching it from our camera cat and not on the screen or the monitor, and we thought at the time that there may have been an advantage to Appliances Online. There is a protest in, I must say. Both boats have protested each other, Tech 2 v Appliances Online and the other way around. So, Tom, give us your thoughts now, having seen what you saw yesterday and then reviewing it overnight on the video and the drone shots.
Yeah, for sure. We were watching it live without the drone at the time, and we were looking from the right-hand side of the course. So, and from our perspective, it looked pretty like it was a port starboard incident, pretty simple. But from that, we don't really get a perspective of how far the boats were apart. Then I copped a bit of flack this morning saying, hey, you should go look at the drone footage. And I had a look at the drone footage, and it's definitely not a clear-cut situation. Whether Tech 2 did give them enough time to avoid a collision, if Appliances Online if Tech 2 tack too close, it's going to be up to the jury, and it's not a clear-cut protest in my opinion. The drone footage sort of favours Tech 2, but from our perspective at the time and a few other of the boats' perspective, I think they thought that it was way too close. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see the protesters tomorrow morning, and that will really decide if Tech 2 still got a chance in this regatta.
Yes, because they were disqualified from the second heat, which they had won for going too close across the bow of a Manly ferry. So they really couldn't afford another disaster. So as Tom said, that will be played out tomorrow morning in the jury room. But at the moment, we're up off Clark Island. We're about 100 metres to the north of Clark Island, just waiting for the start. There's a lot of yachts out because it's a Wednesday afternoon here in Sydney, and a lot of people take Wednesday afternoon off and go yachting, and there's the Middle Harbour Yacht Club running their race. The Royal Prince Edward Yacht Club are running their race, so there's a lot of yachts out as well as the skiffs. But the course, as I said, will be up into Rose Bay, 2 laps, and all skiffs on their big rig. And what are we seeing the breeze, Tom? It's about, 8 knots, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say 8-10 knots. It's, everyone on the big rig, it's going to be really pressure game. In 8 to 10 knots, these boats really accelerate up and down quite a lot in another 2 knots of pressure if someone's got a little bit less pressure. Whereas if it's 16 compared to 18 knots, the boats don't really accelerate too much different. So pressure is going to be the big thing today. And the leaders, Smeg, they're obviously very confident. And then you've got Winning Group, who are right in the mix, and Andu, who's a bit of a surprise packet. But and then Tech 2, they're the form boat this whole year, and they've really got to wipe out what's happened in the last couple of days. And whenever I had a bad day in my laser sailing, my coach Arthur Brett used to say, you ignore it, you don't lose talent overnight. And so you've got to ignore it and just trust in your abilities, because they can definitely win races. If they come out and have 2 wins today, win the protest tomorrow, they're right at the pointy end of the fleet. So they've got to block out the last few days and have a good day today.
Well, today's race sponsor is Tech 2, the Tech 2 company, and the trophy they're racing for today is the AJ Reynolds Trophy. AJ Reynolds, or Tony, or the boss as he was well known, as a former president of the 18-footers from 1979 to 84, and he was awarded life membership in 1982, and he was heavily involved in the planning and the construction of the present clubhouse. So he did a lot for these skiffs. And we're just talking about Andu. They had a good second in the last race yesterday. They're currently lying 3rd on the points score, and they've got a new skipper today. Marcus Ashley Jones had to attend the birth overnight of a new baby, and the new skipper for today is Will Phillips. So tell us a bit about Will, Tom.
Yeah, Will Phillips is arguably Australia's best skiff sailor. He's the Olympic representative in the Olympics this year in Tokyo in the 49er class. I was chatting to Marcus about it. I said, how'd you get Will on board? He said he thought he would ask the best person he knew and just sort of roll the dice and hope he was available and be interested in filling in for him. And that's what's happened. So Will Phillips is no slouch. He's an extremely high-level skiff sailor. One of the best resumes in Australian sailing. He's come top 5 in 49er Olympic class world titles. So I don't expect to see any drop-off in performance. They've got a very good replacement.
Had Marcus lost your phone number, had he, Tom?
I think I was busy a long way out. I knew I was going to be busy that day about a year ago. So, yeah.
Okay, 4 minutes 10 to go. Jimmy, what do you think of the line here?
I think the line's a little bit bowed in looking at it at the moment.
It looks boat end biased in this right-hand shift here.
4 minutes.
But, looking at the yachts going up the harbour, I think the guys have really got to try and play at Potts Point side of the work here.
The line a little bit shorter than normal too, I think. And, 3 minutes 40 to go.
So the boats doing their homework today. You see, I think a shorter line's really forcing everyone to double-check the line. I've seen more people running their transits, checking which end of the line is biased than I have in other days. I think they're all a bit worried about this short line and getting a front row spot. So everyone doing their homework, which is a good thing.
3 minutes 20. Just looking up harbour, the breeze looks in the left, up to the left of the course, and in the right on the right, which is, it's going to be a tricky day. Breeze about just 10 knots at best. Course right up into Rose Bay, so they'll go between Shark Island and Point Piper, which is always a very interesting track up there. Which way do you go? The pressure seems to accelerate through that narrow part of the harbour. And 2 minutes 45 to go.
Very common to see a split breeze in this easterly. You can have two boats on opposite side of the courses, sort of just sailing in their own wind, and it'll be a tricky one if you're out in front, knowing whether to cover or whether to sail your own race, sail your own breeze. It's going to be a tough call today. It's not like your normal sea breeze where you can stick to the other guy and defend your position. Today you're really going to have to worry about yourself and sailing the wind you can see in front of you instead of what the other guy behind you is doing.
The tide just starting to flood. It was low water at Sydney Harbour at 5 minutes to 2. So we've got just about an hour of flood tide, just as we come up to 2 minutes to the start of Heat 5 of this championship, the JJ Giltinan Championship, really the World Championship, it used to be called in the good old days. Some very famous skiff sailors have won this title. And the winning group bring this series to you with 1 minute 40 to go. The stack up looks to be early on, Tom, up here at the weather end.
Yeah, look, I think with the outgoing current, being able to hold your lane left is an important thing. If I was out there, I'll be looking not so much at massively the favoured end of the line, but I'd be looking for a bit more room on the start line, less congestion. Kitchen makers, yep, they've capsized here at the windward end. They should have enough time to get up and in position for the start.
1 minute 15 to go. They just probably will do it.
Finport's the boat end, setting up at the boat end boat. You got Tech 2 sort of middle of the line. Can't see Smeg.
1 minute. Kitchen maker's not going to make it. He's gone back. It got the boat up, then went into windward, so he's going to be late.
Smeg's in the middle as well.
Just reminding, we'll see a boat with ASCO on the sail. That is Lumix. He's using a sail from ASCO, so please don't be confused there.
There's a port starboard here. We've got appliances online. In trouble. Winning group down more at the pin end of the line.
Noakes sailing down there as well. There's the Bird and Bear. He tried to go to the pin. He's just tacking
20 seconds to go. Very, very congested part at the line at the moment. Very short line. Finport look in a great position here at the windward end. They've got no one around them. They're going to have room at the boat end.
10 seconds. I think we're going to be clean. Noakes has got the pedal down towards the pin.
3, 2,
Yep, all
1.
good. All
Please
good.
Start.
All good. Finport got the committee boat. Shaw and Partners just ahead of him. A few missed it badly. Ilvay, Birkenhead Point Marina, and the Kitchen Maker just got up out of the capsize situation. He missed it. There's the Bird and Bear. They like that pin each day they've been down there.
Smeg away really nicely in the middle of the line also.
The skipper on Bird and Bear, Doz, it's his birthday today.
Oh, James Doran. Yep, they won the pin end. That's a strong position they're in. They're coming into a bit of a twilight fleet bad air, so they've got to navigate that.
Just Smeg to the left of them. They're stepping out nicely. They've got Noakes down to leeward of them. The winning group just behind Noakes. Smeg starting quite smartly.
Smeg with the best start of the fleet there. They're not the pin end boat, but they're up the line and they're in good position. There you got winning group, Tech 2, Yandu, not great starts down the pin. They're going to have to look for a nice lane out, but you can see Queenslander above Smeg are going to block a lot of those guys' tacks. So winning group tack there. Now they've got issues finding a way through on port tack.
Smeg have tacked also. Come across the right and see them. There they are. They're clear ahead. They won't have any problems of any starboard tackers. There's Yandu. That's behind that little yacht. Behind them, Tech 2 still on starboard. Going out towards Bradley's Head. The Bear leads this group. Behind him is Noakes sailing, and then the winning Yandu. There's Bird and Bear, Noakes, Yandu. And the breeze Oh, it's lucky to be 10 knots here. To be 8 knots at best.
Pressure down. Bird and Bear sailing really well here. They've now just got to try to peel Noakes off their hip to give them the ability to tack when they feel the shift is right. Very good pressure out this side. These guys are looking good.
Noakes is holding a good lane there. Bird and Bear can't tack at the moment. We see Yandu tacking behind them.
Noakes tacking.
Noakes has tacked. Okay. Bird and Bear will tack now.
That's going to open up a lane for the Tech 2 who are a bit further back, but now they're finally going to get clear air.
There's the Bird. She's the most left-hand boat, the Bird and Bear.
On the right-hand side of the course, Smeg is looking the best out that side. And we've got Winning Group who have been ducking people on port a lot. So,
but there's Noakes on screen there. She's looking pretty solid. Yandu a bit off the pace at the back. But right in the distance, you can see top left just going off screen. That was Smeg. And we believe that she would be pretty close to the lead, I think. Weathermark up into Rose Bay. They've got to go between Point Piper and Shark Island. Breeze 8 knots at best. A few little puffs, nothing extreme by any means. Lovely big sail breeze. Flat water. Tide just starting to come in.
Smeg have just tacked on Winning Group again. That's the second time. They've done 2 tacks in this race and both times have tacked straight on Winning Group. So first and second in the overall points, and they're already involved in a bit of a match race.
Just saying off screen, guys, Vintech is still down behind the start line. I think they're, for the Vintech followers, I think they won't be participating much more in this race.
So Jimmy, it looks as though the right has paid at the moment, doesn't it?
Well, you picked left, Pete, so it had to pay.
I said it was pretty even. So there's Noakes Blue, Yvette Heritage, Rory Cox and Oliver Scott Mackey in a nice position. They're probably in the top half dozen at least. Behind them, Shaw and Partners. See Winning Group come across.
They've got to get going here. Noakes could get them on starboard.
Yeah, I think Noakes Blue will
it's tight
be
there.
very tight.
Ooh, a little dark. Whether they call them through or not.
Little courtesy.
Could be. Depends if they called starboard or let them go through on port tack.
So the 2 Noakes boats together, Noakes Sailing, Sean Langman, and Event Heritage in Noakes Blue, but Smeg leads.
Tech 2 out the left-hand side.
Looks okay up there, Tech 2, yep, he does. Comments today from Tom Slingsby and James Bury. I'm Peter Shipway, bringing this live stream to you from Sail Media. Heat 5 of the JJ Giltinan 18-foot skiff championships. There's Tech Smeg Tax. He will lead. Very fluky now. Little bit more pressure. And you'll see a group coming in from the left-hand side, and they will be headed by Tech 2, but Smeg leads. Probably Noakes second, and then close between Tech 2 and the Winning Group.
Yeah, look at very shifty up here, up and down. Noakes are probably in second place at this stage, but they're in bad air from Smeg. Smeg really controlling the fleet really well.
And a bit of acceleration in the breeze here through between Point Piper and Shark Island. Some nice little squirts coming around Point Piper, the eastern end. But we're on Tech 2 and Birkenhead Point Marina. They've come in from the left.
Big left-hand shift there. Tech 2 are looking good. They might cross Noakes. If not, they're in the top group.
Tech 2 will not cross Noakes at this stage, or what's Noakes doing? Going to attack, I think.
Glad we didn't have to make a call there, whether it was going to be an issue or not. Don't want to be involved in that today.
That's what they got you for, Tom.
Well, that's why you're a commentator, Tom.
Yeah,
You know, you put it out there. Okay, Tech 2 and Noakes sailing. Tech 2 would be second. Noakes sailing perhaps third. Quite light, and we've got about they're about 2/3 the way up the first windward beat.
Now it's going to get patchy up here. Now we're getting up into Rose Bay, narrow part of the course between Point Piper and Shark Island. It becomes a little bit of a little gauntlet here in between these, where the whole fleet has to converge together. There can't be any splitting. And Smeg still lead, but Noakes are right there with them. More pressure coming down the right-hand side of the track up here, and that's where all the top guys are going.
Smeg is the point score leader after 4 heats, after 2 very, very good wins yesterday. Tech 2 just tacking in the background, just ahead of the winning group. So it's a good battle now. Tech 2 and winning group close. There's the Birkenhead Point Marina just ahead of them. Their best performance so far as Yandu goes behind the winning group.
Noakes seem really in sync here. They've really chipped away at Smeg's lead.
New big rig on that one, Tom.
Yeah, they're
New
doing
sails,
well.
new mast. Had it wicked up pretty well straight out of the box.
Yeah, they're going well.
Noakes, 2 Noakes boats and Tech 2. Yeah, Noakes is, as you say, Tom, is sailing very well. They'll be very close to Smeg. Smeg's going across on starboard. They will cross, but only a couple of boat lengths in it. And the breeze very light. They're about 200 metres from the weather mark, and it's quite light up here.
Yeah.
So a lot of racing yet to come. A lot of dots to join to get this right, both upwind and downwind. Oh, Smeg's just gone into a no pressure and rolled in to windward slightly. We're on Noakes.
Well, the angle difference there between Noakes and winning group.
Yeah, pressure is really down. Pressure's down to 5-6 knots here. So very tricky up here, and they've still got another 200 metres to the top mark. So the positions could really shuffle a lot at the top end of this course today.
Tech 2 are not slow. They're right behind Smeg now. Winning group are in the picture, and Birkenhead Point Marina over on the left-hand side. They'd be about 5th or 6th.
Yeah, it's interesting. You've seen Smeg tack on winning group and Tech 2 a couple of times up this beat. I think it's been 2 times each. And you've got Birkenhead Point. Obviously, they're not at the top end of the results, so they're not. Smeg aren't worrying about tacking on them, and they look really powered up and doing well.
Look at Tech 2. She's just run out of breeze there. But the boats that went left, Bird and Bear and Birkenhead Point Marina, if they get a little lefty, they could be very close, if not in the lead.
Yep, they're in really good positions.
The Bird and the Bear, go to the Bird. She's flying up there, probably laying the mark. Birkenhead just falling off it a little. But
well, Smeg tack with winning group, Lee Bow on winning group. That's the 3rd time up this beat they've tacked on them. So they're really getting involved in a match race, and we're only halfway through the event.
If we go round to the right a little, you can see the Bird and Bear shortly. There's Noakes, which depends where the shift comes. Noakes sailing will be close to it. There's a little bit of breeze coming down now, a bit more.
Yeah.
A lot of changes in position and direction. Bird and
Noakes
Bear's,
has a nice lift.
There's the Bird and Bear. She headed then about 30 degrees. And Noakes sailing will lead.
So here we have Noakes under lay. Oh, they might lay here. They've got a good right-hander.
Yeah,
Noakes are going to make it.
Yeah, they'll do it. Smeg second, the winning group third. The Bird Bear looked good for a moment, but it headed him badly, so he'll come in about fifth. So there we go. Noakes around and lead. Boat length in it to Smeg, point score leader, then the winning group.
Just about to say, a jibe set looks pretty good here, and you see Smeg roll into it and winning group. So jibe set on us looks pretty nice at the moment. So we'll see if that work pays for those guys.
Bird and Bear round right with Birkenhead Point Marina. They're going to jibe, both jibing. Tech 2 next. Not far off the pace. Here comes Noakes Blue.
Interestingly,
winning group.
Winning group of tax capsized. Oh dear.
Second overall in the regatta, and I just don't think they saw Kitchen Maker going upwind, and they had to do a big bear away. I think that's what happened.
Well. There it is, the winning group. Yeah, obviously they had to take evasive action. There's Yandu around. Shore and Partners in front of them, and also Finport. Here comes Andu. Queenslander next.
Down the track, you can see Noakes have finally got the win. They started in very light wind for a long time, and now they've got good pressure over on the Shark Island side. Smeg have now jibed back on Point Piper side. They're our two leaders.
Okay, as Kitchen Maker goes round, then the Royal Oak. Winning group still in the water behind the Blue Spinnaker of Andu. Just trying to get it up as Ilvay goes behind them. There goes Appliances Online around the mark.
Got these guys.
Still going to be a very tricky run. Not much pressure, a few little puffs at probably 8 or 9 knots, but generally around about 8 knots. Winning group trying to get up. They run back now to Clark Island. There'll be a gate there. They can use either mark at the gate.
Tech 2 have been the big gainer here going down the run. They were back in sort of 7th place or so, and looks like they've picked the first shift and are into the top 5. Looks like Noakes still just ahead of Smeg down the course.
Red Spinnaker, you can see there is Tech 2, then the Bird and Bear behind him. Birkenhead Point Marina. Leader's about halfway down the run to Clark Island. It's the second of 4 legs. Noakes and Smeg fighting it out at the front. Tech 2 trying to get into 3rd spot. He's not far off it. Finport made some good gains down here.
So I think you'll find, Pete, that Finport and Bird and Bear are got the 2 biggest big rigs in the fleet now. So should see a little bit more from them, especially when we're going up into that lighter area.
So Smeg has the lead now. You can see just off the boat here, the jibe set did work, and they have overtaken Noakes, but it's still very close. Probably about a 50 metre, 60 metre gain to Smeg out of that split at the top mark.
Tech 2 driving away from Finport. They're the leaders.
Then you've got Bird and Bear over the other side of the course. They're sitting just driving off Point Piper. They're in a real ripper of a gust. Looks like they've gained that position back at Tech 2 and moved into 3rd place. And at this stage, it looks like they've made some inroads to the leaders, but there's a big split on at the moment, so we're going to have to wait and see who gets a better breeze down here. It still looks like Smeg and Noakes comfortably ahead of the Bird and Bear. Look like they'll be very close to Tech 2 for third place.
Jimmy, another impressive performance from Noakes Sailing.
Mate, Sean's having a blinder this year. Like, he really is sailing very well, very consistent, very few mistakes. I think Josh Pavetsky joining the team's really aided them. Ed and Sean have sailed exceptionally well together for a long time, so I think Josh has just added that extra little spark to the team.
Bird and Bear didn't get the pressure that they needed off that headland, and
Tech 2's got good pressure there.
Definitely got it. They're making big inroads to the leaders here. More pressure and better angle.
Smeg just starting to get that pressure that Tech 2's running down in. So they're about 100 metres from the leeward gate. And Tech 2 still running very quickly. But Smeg still leads narrowly from Noakes.
Smeg are really the form boat, obviously winning 2 races yesterday. Today they're out in front. They've got a lot of confidence. They're sailing the wind shifts. They're aggressive when they need to be, and they back themselves when they need to do that also. So
Smeg will jibe and come into the right-hand gate, you'd think. It looks the shorter gate. Just got a nice bit of breeze. It's lucky to be 10 knots. It's probably 8 knots. Here they come. Noakes have jibed with them. They're going to the same gate.
yeah, it definitely looks like this left-hand gate looking upwind, the gate that Smeg are leading into now, it does look favoured on the racetrack.
I'd say all 3 leaders are going to this gate.
Yeah, which is a smart move. I think if you're forced to the other side, you might have to sail extra distance. So the leaders are doing the right thing here.
Okay, Noakes is spinning it down. They're clean, and then about 3 boat lengths back is the Tech 2. And then right on their hammer is the Bird and Bear, and Birkenhead Point Marina will be next. They've held their lane and position.
Well done, Timmy. Timmy, Alex, and who else is on that one? It's Felix. Yep.
Alex Chittenden and Tim Westwood. Here they come. Jibe drop. Get the job done. Fin almost. Come on, boys. That's spinning at a bed. And fin port. Then Noakes blue. Oh.
Very tight here, isn't it, with everyone?
Birkenhead still going upwind with the spinnaker stuck out the end of the pole.
Put the curse on them.
Yeah. Okay, Noakes blue. Good. Shore and Partner still a bit of work to do with the spinnaker. Then Andu and Yandu together. Oh, a bit untidy on the Andu. Good little puff of the day on Yandu.
And next in is Winning Group. So they went from, I think, 3rd place at the top mark. I'm not too sure, but they're probably just outside the top 10 here with that capsize. Got a lot of big work to catch up.
So we're halfway through. It's 1 more windward and 1 more leeward. And we've been racing 20 minutes, so it'll probably be about a 40-minute race. And then they'll decide for the second race today whether it's a 2-lapper or 3-lappers. Quite a gaggle of boats going around, led by the Winning Group, the Royal Oak, Kitchen Maker, Appliances Online coming now. Then it'll be Queenslander with the grey spinnaker. Then the Rag and Lumix, Lazarus, all in the group. So everyone went to the same mark. The breeze gone a bit left out here. And it's about 8 knots, probably the puffs to 9 maximum. And here the last couple going round the mark. It's the Lazarus, that's Lumix just gone round. Lazarus Capital Partners now. And behind him will be Ilve bringing up the tail. So away we go, upwind for the final time, heat 5. And it's the series point score leader Smeg that was leading at the leeward mark. very tight.
Smeg are doing the same track that was successful for them up the first beat. They started out left, heading left at the bottom, and then they've gone back to the middle right as they come up the course. And I can see Noakes and Smeg are both tacking in off Point Piper. While here on screen we have Winning Group, who are back in the pack. They need to make points up if they want to be in contention in this regatta. They need to pull back 3, 4, 5 boats in this next lap if they want to be in a position to challenge.
Up ahead, Noakes has got his nose in front. It's very tight. Slightly to windward of Smeg, nothing in it. Tech 2 a clear third. And she's not far away either, so it's Noakes leads. Oh, here's Smeg tacking now.
Tacking on Tech 2's line again. It's not by chance that they're doing this, I think. I think they're thinking that Tech 2 are still in this regatta. If they win their protest tomorrow, they've got a very good shot in the points and definitely talented enough to be at the top end. So Smeg tacking on Tech 2. I don't think it's by coincidence at all. Here Tech 2 are going to tack out in a good right-hand shift. So
well, coming into the picture's the Bird and Bear. She would have put Tech 2 around.
Yeah. That's a good timing there. Bird and Bear on a nice right-hand shift. I don't think those guys will lose much out of that, Tech 2 having to tack there. But you've got Smeg on this right-hand side now, and they're coming into really good pressure as well.
Nice.
Pressure's up.
Nice pressure rolling round Point Piper. And Smeg leads into Point Piper, but Noakes is up on his hip. He will be in front, although Smeg will come back with starboard and rolling into some very, very
You can see Tech
good
2 out
pressure
there,
here.
just dodging through twilight yacht racing. That's not good in this amount of breeze. When it's quite light, having to sail in the bad air of those yachts, it's not fast. It's quite slow, so that won't be good for them. And on the right-hand side here, we've got Noakes, again, lee bowing Smeg. They're in a strong position there. They've got to hold their height and make life tough for Smeg. Smeg can live there across it and wait for the next shift. That's a good move for them. If I was on Noakes here, I'd be really trying to work on my high groove and force Smeg back into the short side of the course. And they'll have to do 2 tacks in pretty quick succession. So let's see how much height Noakes can get out of the boat here. You see him leaning in there off trapeze. They're easing Bang, easing Cunningham, deepening up the sails. And there, you see both these boats now are really pinching into a higher groove. Noakes really starting to put it on them now.
Yep. Just getting round the bow of Smeg.
It's worth noting, while these guys are doing this, the boats that are clear, like Bird and Bear and Tech 2, they're sailing their VMG targets. And they're sailing fast boat, and so usually when these 2 boats are fighting like this, the other boats are catching them. So it's good for Tech 2 and Bird and Bear. Tech 2 on the left-hand side of the course look really good here. I think they're very close to...
Noakes will
Noakes
tack.
are going to tack, and so Smeg.
Yeah, and Tech 2 could easily lead here, Jimmy, I think.
Yeah, I think they're clear lead at the moment.
Yeah, they've got really
Coming up
good
into this
pressure.
funky air again, up around Rose Bay again.
So these 2 fighting like they have been has brought these other 2 boats right into it. We've got Bird and Bear here,
he'll
may
cross.
get a piece of Smeg.
And a piece of Noakes too, I think. They'll cross. Smeg had to duck. Noakes will be across.
Just across. But you see what I was talking about,
Yeah.
how these 2 boats were fighting. They were sailing high grooves, sailing slow, Noakes and Smeg. And from both sides of the racetrack, Bird and Bear from the right and Tech 2 from the left, they've made big inroads, and now it's anyone's game. 4 boats going for the lead instead of 2.
To get the shift, but there's a nice little right-hander coming round Point Piper where Noakes and Smeg are going. Noakes will be clear ahead, but Tech 2's out in the middle, and here's the cross coming up. Tech 2 will be across. Yes, so Tech 2 leads for the first time in this race.
And tacking to
Tacking
consolidate.
right on them.
Good
There's
move.
the 3 of them. Yep.
Smart sailing there. They not only do they put 2nd place in their pocket, but they also put 3rd place in Smeg. Very strong position there to tack.
So We're about 250 metres from the weather mark. This will be the final turning mark, and then it's the run to home. 2-lap course.
These top 4 boats fighting out. Birkenhead Point are catching up as well in 5th place.
So the Bird now is in second. Tech 2 and Smeg going out to the left. Noakes has gone right. Gone round the corner at Point Piper and into Rose Bay. Bird and Bear's more in the middle there. The 2 leaders tacking now. A few little spiky gusts coming down, nothing more than 10 knots. It's still shifty, Tom, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
This top part of the course, it gets really tough, and these guys are all tacking on each other a lot, and they're really worrying about the boats around them. If I was sort of talking to my crew, I'd say, look, let's sail as fast as we can to the top mark and ignore our competitors, because staying in the pressure, staying in the lift attack has never been so crucial as it is at the top part of this course. Tech 2 have been doing that. They've been tacking when they needed to, but the last 100, 150 metres to the top of this track, I think they should just really ignore the competitors and make sure they're sailing on the lift attack with more pressure. Which is what they're doing here. They could have tacked on this 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but they've let them go and they're going for 1 and in. They're going for the ley line here.
So 150 metres from the weather mark.
I think Tech 2 have overlaid the top mark here.
They look as though they have, haven't they? They've gone way out to the right. But let's see.
See what happens.
Just depends which way the next shift goes.
I think Bird and Bear are right in this here. They've sailed up the centre of the course at the top here.
Absolutely.
And you've got Tech 2 who look overstood on at the moment. They look like they're having to ease sheets and come in fast.
That's the weather mark you can see, bottom screen. Bird and Bear just tacking. Going behind them will be Smeg. Yeah, Bird and Bear are being very close to the lead.
Yeah, Tech 2
Tech
are
2's east
reaching
sheets
in.
here. Yeah, absolutely sprung
Yep.
here.
But I think they're going to be okay. They've got really good pressure. Bird and Bear have been a bit slow at the top, so Tech 2 will lead. Bird and Bear second.
Squeezing can.
Noakes are going to
lay it. They've got a nice right hander.
Oh, they're looking good there.
Yeah, Noakes will sneak into seconds. Tech 2's on his way to home. Can he hold off the chasing pack? Bird and Bear round the outside of Noakes. Smeg will be 4th, and Birkenhead Point Marina, probably the beneficiary out of all of that, because these top 4 were toing and froing. He could sail his own race, and he's right in the picture here. He'll be a clear 5th. There's the Birkenhead Point Marina, just behind Smeg. He'll have 2 tacks in. There's Smeg. What do they manoeuvre here?
Yeah, I wouldn't. They're going to go for with a straight set. It's yeah. Look, I think a jibe set mightn't be a bad move here. You see, they're all aiming quite a long way above Shark Island this time, which last time. Oh, there we go. Tech 2 now got a big header, but at that angle compared to last time up here, they're sailing a lot higher on starboard jibe. So a jibe set is on here if Birkenhead Point want to take it. There's definitely a good chance for it to work.
Well, they are 5th. Jimmy, a good performance by these boys. They're best of the regatta, isn't it?
Absolutely, like it's
Best all year.
sailing out of their skins.
Okay, and they've all been headed down there. The boats that have.
Yeah. You look at Smeg up on the top there with the white spinnaker and the right-hand side of of the screen. They've just gone out of screen, but they're struggling to get going.
And the winning group, after their capsize, have really not probably caught 1 or 2 boats, but they're still deep.
Yeah.
Shaw and partner, they are 6th. They're all in big headers. They ran out on starboard. Now they're getting a heading pressure round Shark Island. great shot. Bird and Bear. Tech 2, Bird and Bear. And now the 5th place, Birkenhead Point Marina. There's Tech 2, Bird and Bear, Noakes sailing. Noakes sailing over the top of Bird and Bear, who jibes. Noakes will probably have to jibe soon, going up into the lee of Shark Island, although he's still got good pressure. So probably a race in 3 here between Bird and Bear, Tech 2 and Noakes sailing. Smeg just that far enough back that he probably won't threaten the top place getters at this stage. We're halfway down the run to the finish off Clark Island. There's the leader, Tech 2, Bird and Bear jibing. Tech 2 running into the western end of Point Piper. There's Bird and Bear going down the middle on starboard. And it looks like Noakes has made out good progress by going out to the right, looking downwind. They will cross Bird and Bear.
Yeah, big gains
Big
there by
gain.
Noakes. They got the best pressure on their track there. They're coming back. Tech 2 are definitely under threat here. These guys are, and Noakes are going to go back for more out of that gust, which I think looks quite good for them. You've got Bird and Bear there and a nice bit of pressure. As long as these guys don't slow each other up too much, they've got a good shot at Tech 2, but looks like they're going to start fighting.
That's a great shot. Vying for the lead. These two, Bird and Bear,
So
James
Noakes-
Doran, John Walton and Tom Clout. Noakes sailing, Sean Langman, Ed Powers, Josh Brzezinski.
So here we've got Noakes just trying to keep their air clear. They're right on the edge of getting rolled. At the moment, they're just okay.
Oh, this is tight. This is tight.
This is really tight. And look, these two fighting is going to help Tech 2. Tech 2 are sailing their own mode. These two boats are fighting, and I would have said these two were up equal with Tech 2 before, but now I think Tech 2's sort of scooting away again.
Okay, the Bird is jibing. Some bad waves coming across Noakes now. Up, down, up. Tech 2 in the middle.
They've done really well again here.
They
Tech
have.
2. They remain patient and done a really good job down the middle of the track.
Jack McCartney, Charlie White, Lewis break on the Tech 2. They're about 150, 200 metres from the finish, and I think they look pretty good. Noakes going way out towards Bradley's head. They've rolled a dice there, Noakes. Tech 2 just coming up now. They'll one more jibe it in, I would think. They've got some waves to negotiate here. There's Clark Island in the background. Tech 2.
One more jibe to the finish. They've got this race pretty well sewn up. One more decent jibe and they'll take the race win in this one.
Well, that'll do a lot for their confidence after certainly some wobbles along the way in the last few races for one reason or another. Well, they haven't got much pressure here. Noakes, you can see the white spinnaker. No, they've just got it now. They're going to be fine. Tech 2 will do the job. Great job by Jack McCartney. Got a big yacht going across the
Shearwater.
front of them.
Guido.
Guido Belgiano Nettis and his beautiful
Yeah.
yacht. But they're going to be fine.
They'll be good. And the race for second looks at the moment could be the Bird. Oh, that's going to be... The race is really for seconds. Be very close. Okay, Tech 2 will win Heat 5. And Noakes jibing. And I think the Bird... Oh. Okay. Tech 2 across. They are the winner. Winner of Heat 5. And the Bird and Bear is going to get second. Good performance.
Yeah, great
James
job there.
Doran, very good job. They are second, the Bird. And Noakes again, consistent. Noakes sailing, they are third. But full marks to Jack McCartney, Charlie White and Lewis Brake. They were close all the way through.
Smeg are going to come in fourth, and then there's a big gap back in the pack after this.
Here's Michael Coxon in the Smeg, just crossing now in fourth spot. I think they'll be happy with that.
They will be happy. I mean, they'll be a bit upset that they were leading this race and they sort of gave it away a bit up that second beat. To me, it looked like they were trying to sail the fleet too much. They were worrying about points. They were attacking on Tech 2. On the first beat, they were attacking on Winning Group. They were attacking on Noakes. I think they just need to sail their own breeze a little more and not worry about that. They had a big sort of gap out the front of the fleet, and they sort of got swallowed up by doing too many tacks. So
They look like they had the boat speed though, Tom.
definitely fast. Yep, Smeg are very fast.
Okay, just watching the battle now for fifth. Looks as though Shaw and Partners have overtaken Birkenhead Point Marina.
Andrew's gotten back into this race as well. They were a long way back.
They
They're
were.
in fourth overall in the points, so this will get them back, keep them up in that top group. Good comeback by those guys.
Shaw and Partners will probably jibe. Yes, they will, and come in fifth spot. And there's a group coming in from the left, looking upwind, and at Birkenhead Point, sixth. And who will be seventh? It could be Noakes Blue or Andu. And then Yandu's in the picture as well. But there's the Birkenhead Point, sixth.
This will be a close finish
I
here.
think Noakes Blue, oh, will it? Noakes Blue.
Noakes Blue, just
Yep.
get it.
Yeah,
Yep.
good job, Yvette. Noakes Blue,
And then Andu, and then
Andu,
Yandu.
and then Yandu.
So looking at the course, we see Winning Group, who was second overall heading into this one. They're having a tough race after that capsize. They weren't actually able to pick up positions. And it's unfortunate for them. They've got a bad result on their scorecard.
They look as though they'll be in a 12th or 13th. Just depends on who gets the next puff.
They're coming down with good pressure. They might beat these two boats coming in from the other side. It's going to be tight.
So it's Rag and Famish and Appliances Online coming in from the right. And Winning Group, there they are.
Rag and Famish might get there ahead of them.
Here's go the Winning Group now. It's Rag and Famish, so they're going to jive. I think the Winning Group. Oh. No, I think Rag and Famish will get it. Winning 13th. And Winning 13th. And Appliances Online 14th. So, Jimmy, what do we make of all that?
Yeah, well, I think you just heard someone off the Winning Group explain how they felt about it. But, yeah, I agree with what Tom was saying. Like, I think Smeg got too caught up in trying to cover and trying to go too defensive early on. They showed they had brilliant boat speed. They could have, I thought, probably could have gone on with it. You know, Sean had an absolute blinder, the birthday boy on the Bird and Bear. Finally figuring out how to sail a skiff again after being off, or having the season off. Birkenhead Point Marina, brilliant sail by those guys. You know, they sailed really, really well. Best result so far for them. The other one, which is always in there and around there, has been the guys on Shore and Partner. They've been, I think, pretty consistent throughout this regatta, and consistency gets you up the leaderboard. And I think, those guys will slowly start sliding up the leaderboard as we speak. The Winning Group, they've just got to have a regroup and get back into this next race and keep their points tally in check. The Tech 2 sailed exceptionally well, didn't panic, and got back in there. So, well done to them.
Okay, well, we're still waiting for a couple of the stragglers to come home, which will be Lumix and Lazarus Capital Partners. They about 50 metres from the finishing line. Lumix probably get the job done here. And the question will be, will the next race be a 3-lapper or a 2-lapper? That race took about 36 minutes. So I would think they'd probably go for a 3-lapper. Lumix across and Lazarus. Okay, so Heats 5 has been run and sailed and a very, very good win to Tech 2. Bird and Bear, outstanding second. Noakes sailing third. Smeg 4, Shaw and Partners 5. Birkenhead Point Marina 6. Noakes Blue 7th. Andu 8th. 9th was Yandu. 10th the Royal Oak. 11th Finport. 12th Rag and Famish. 13th the Winning Group. 14th Appliance Online. 15th Kitchen Maker. 16th Queenslander. 17 Lumix. 18 Lazarus. And they've still got the flag up for a 2-lapper. It doesn't look as though they're going to change that at the moment. So the breeze is still around that 8 to 10 knots, probably 10 in the gusts and averaging out at 8. It's about the same direction, Tom, doesn't it really? There's not much change there.
Yeah, the breeze is very similar. I think it's supposed to stay like this all day. So 8 to 12 knots maybe. Probably at the top of the course you get down to 6 knots. And yeah, probably 12 knots at gusts are most you're going to see. So big rig conditions and yeah, great win to Tech 2 in the first race.
Just watching the committee boat there. Doug Cameron, the PRO, just looking at the wind and the course and the big fleet of yachts coming around Shark Island, headed right towards the start line here. You can see them, a Wednesday afternoon fleet out of the Prince Edward Yacht Club. So I would think Doug, who's done an outstanding job this week and all year, will be just holding them till the majority of these yachts get sailed by. So we'll just give a cheerio out to a few people around the world, especially to Robert England, watching all the way from England in Ludlow in the United Kingdom. He's been an avid watcher throughout this series and all the 18-foot races. So Robert, I hope you're up and watching and staying warm and safe over in England. I'm sure Ed Powey's parents are up and watching. They don't worry about the America's Cup. They watch about their son, and Mrs. Powey's worries where he's had a haircut. So that's her main interest, to see whether Ed's had a haircut or not. So I don't think he has, Jane. So if you're watching, I'll tell him tonight to have another haircut for your sake. But nonetheless, they sailed a very good race today to get third and keep their name fairly in the top place getters. They could probably move into second or third on the point score after today's race, 5th race. We're just waiting for the start of the 6th race. Still a 2-lapper, but they're going to wait till this fleet of yachts come by, I think, because they'll be running right across the starting line. Still plenty of time left and sunshine left. Bit cloudy at the moment, but a good group on the spectator ferry. We're just waiting now.
There's the kid, David Witt, up the bow of the Royale, and his wife Kim.
Big witty, eh? He can tell a story or three. Around the world adventures, 18-foot adventures. One of the great characters.
Bill McCartney up top, watching Jack on.
Really would have been impressed today.
It's also the island day today, Pete. So I've seen the island parked up near the top mark. So when we get up there, we might get the drone or someone to go over and give everyone a little cheerio.
Make sure they're still upright.
Still upright? Yep.
I mean the people, that is, not the boat.
The Island Bar. So it's the every Wednesday of the JJs they charter out the Island Bar, and it's like an old barge being converted into a bar, and you can book online. I think I haven't been out on it other than in the JJs, but you book online normally and get picked up from Double Bay and out you go for your couple of hours on the island, I believe is how it all works. So it's, I don't like the idea of being trapped on a bar on the harbour. Much prefer the option to leave. So.
Okay, so it's a waiting game at the moment. The breeze is fine, but it's a fleet of Wednesday afternoon races that are coming back down the race course that are causing the delay at the moment.
It's Margaret Rintle there on screen, isn't it, Pete?
It is. Lovely Herman Frere's design. Built originally for Stan Edwards. Lovely 66-footer. So the yacht's course takes them right through the starting line, so hence the pause.
You would have done a few adventures on the Margaret Rintle, Pete?
Not that one. I had on some of the previous ones. I'd sailed on them. Always kept in very good condition by the Edwards family. And had great success in ocean racing with those boats. There's like a converted Etchell there, just waddling downwind. The longer we wait, the more boats are starting to appear around Shark Island, running back down towards the start line. Breeze, nothing great here at the moment. Be lucky to be 8 knots. Probably chopped up by all these yachts that are out and about. So we're playing a waiting game. Tom, we spoke yesterday briefly about the GP circuit, and you were saying earlier that perhaps, or not perhaps, but the Sydney event will take place in December this year. Is that correct?
Look, that's what we're trying to get done. It would be great to have a Sydney event again on the calendar, have our home event being the Australian team. We're just trying to get that across the line. Yeah, look, I can't say it's on or off at the moment, but definitely working towards that, an event in December, and hopefully it happens.
Well, that'd be great because it's a great time of the year in Sydney, isn't it? Okay, we've just got signals. So we've got 5 minutes to go. 2 lap up. Same course as before.
We're a little bit out on our watch on board. Peter wasn't ready for us to watch.
So do I blame you if we break the start or not?
I reckon we're about 4 or 5 seconds out, mate. So just stay behind the line and we'll be good.
Okay, right. So what end are we thinking, boys? Given the pressure and the angle of the line. Tom, what are you looking at here?
Yeah, I mean the
little yacht looks high on port there, doesn't he? Going across.
He does. Yeah, I'd say the pin end was slightly favoured in the end last race. It was hard to predict. With I think 3 or 4 minutes to go, we said the windward end of the line, the right-hand side, was going to be a bit stronger, but in the end, it looked like the pin end was the one that paid. So it's really shifting back and forth. Hard to predict as sailing is, but even tougher on a easterly on Sydney Harbour.
Okay, 4 minutes.
And yeah, look, again, same thing I've sort of been saying the last couple of days in these really shifty, patchy winds is you just want to avoid the congestion. It's going to be tough on a short start line like this with so many boats on the short start line, but if you can avoid the congestion, have a bit more room to move, do a good speed build heading into the start, and really have the option to tack once the start gun's gone, or well, at least within 30 seconds of the start, you're going to be in the top group. You just got to not overcomplicate things, get off to a good start, concentrate on your boat speed, and try to get the ability to tack. That's going to be the important thing for these guys.
Okay, we've got 3 minutes 15 to the start of the second race today, which will be the Heat 6 of the championship. This championship brought to you by the Winning Group. Today racing for the AJ Reynolds or Tony Reynolds trophy. And today's race sponsor is Tech 2. Well, they would have been very happy with what they saw in the first race. Very good win to the Tech 2 boys. There's Noakes Blue. They had a good day the first race. They finished 7th, their best performance of the regatta. Now we've got yachts coming back through the starting line, so more interest. Oh, there's a yacht tacking right on the committee boat. So 2 minutes 25. Winning Group, look, they're down at the pin end. There's Yandu. Just coming up to 2 minutes. You'll see that one flag.
Queenslanders there on screen.
2 minutes. Yep, Queenslander. 16th in the first race today. Queenslander, Yandu, Birkenhead Point just going off screen. The Royal Oak behind them. Minute 40.
Winning Group are really leaning towards the pin end. They're out above the pin end still at the moment, so they're looking like they want the left-hand side of the track. Looking up the track, again, very shifty, patchy. You can see right-handers on the right-hand side of the course and probably left-handers on the left-hand side. So to me, the middle of the course doesn't look as great at the moment.
It looks left to me. You see those yachts out there way in the distance. They look very high on the left. But anyway, 1 minute 10 to go. Again, fairly stacked up at the weather end. There's 1 minute. Exactly 1 minute to go.
I was 4 seconds late on the watch for you, Pete, just so you know when you're looking down.
Yes, I did. I adjusted. So I can't blame you for any misdemeanours here.
Winning Group are the most left-hand boat. They're on the pin end, and they've got Finport with them. Tech 2 are about 5 up. Can't quite see Smeg at the moment. Smeg are up towards the boat end here. They're in a good position, actually. They've got a good gap below them.
25 seconds.
At the moment, I think look like Smeg's position to get a good start. They've got a nice gap.
Andu up the weather end with Ilve and the kitchen maker. Just under 10 seconds to go. Winning Group down at the pin end. Andu coming in. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh. Andu, I think we're close. We're close. We're very close.
Our watch wasn't quite right, so maybe they were clear.
They were away. They're away. Andu at the pin end, at the committee boat end. The Winning Group got the pin. They're coming straight back. They've tacked across, back onto port.
You see the left-hand boats are in left-hand shift and the right-hand boats are in right-hand shift.
But there's a good pressure in the left up there, Tom. Good pressure.
I don't think they're going to cross Andu and the boat.
No, I don't think they will at the moment. No.
No, definitely not crossing.
So, Winning Group coming back on port. There's Andu.
Andu are going to cross clear ahead. So the boat end boat and the pin end boat, first and second at this stage.
So what's that tell you? Pretty even line.
Well, it just tells you, like we were saying, left-hand breeze at the on the left-hand side and right-hand breeze on the right-hand side. And up the middle, as we were saying, didn't look too good. And that's the way it played out. Smeg away really well in the middle of the track too. They've got a lot of room to move. They can sail their BMG numbers and really get the boat ripping.
This is the group going left. Tech 2's in that group.
Tech 2 in the middle. Finport down to leeward. Shore
nice little puff they're in. We just bailed out there. But we're on Andu, skippered today by Will Phillips. Crew Cam Gundy and Geronimo Harrison. Normal skipper Marcus Ashley Jones is on baby duty. After he sailed very well yesterday, but a new baby overnight, so congratulations to Marcus and family. But breeze is still tricky, a lot of shifts, up and down pressure. Tom Slingsby and James Bury, along with myself, Peter Shipway, bringing this coverage to you from Sail Media. And this is the second race of today, Heat 6 of the championship, a 2-lapper. We're underway, the first leg. Now the fleet, most of them on port.
The winning group coming back from the other side now. They're starting to converge. They're in the top pack too. So I think Andu should cross ahead of winning group, but it is tight at the top there.
Winning group look as though they could be second.
Oh no, winning group across.
Winning group across, okay, they
Great
lead.
job by those guys.
There's winning group Shore and Partners, solid. Andu, there's the Noakes sailing coming out. He's a little bit behind, he's probably about 8th or 9th. Smeg just in front of Tech 2, very shifty up there. Tech 2 had to tack, I think Andu put him about.
So what we can see here is a real sort of cluster of boats there in the middle of the track. Basically, when you're in that middle, you're fighting with all the other teams. You can't really sail the wind your way, the boat speed you want to sail. You're sailing high and slow. So it is tough for these guys caught in the pack here. Usually when this happens, you can expect to see the boats that are on the edges of the packs to start doing well. So you've got Andu out on the right-hand side. They're not being affected by anyone, doing well. And out the left-hand side of the track, you can see Finport by themselves. They're doing quite well as well. So
They've got to thread the needle a little here. There's a lot of yachts coming down. So not only competitors have got to watch each other, they've got to watch a lot of yachts coming round Shark Island, running straight down the course that the 18s are taking on a reciprocal course. But nonetheless, it's tricky. Oh, there's a capsize over here.
Andu capsized to windward.
Tucked into no pressure there.
Yeah.
There's Andu.
Oh, they were the leader.
Their day has come to quite a catastrophic end. They're hard to pick up from here. They're getting it up.
Okay. Still very close. Close fleet here. Tech 2 have punched out to the left-hand side of the track, and leading from the right-hand side would probably be Bird and Bear, and winning group close behind them.
Big shifts going upwind. We see yachts high on in the right and high in the left. So which side's going to pay? And the reasonable pressure. Again, it's 8 to 9, maybe 10 knots in the little puffs.
Finport have done a good job out the left-hand side. As I said, they were out of the pack and they were sailing their own pressure, and they're leading the left-hand pack in. Bird and Bear, unfortunately, having to do a duck on a twilight yacht, but they're probably leading this right-hand pack now.
Yeah, winning group going across to sit on the top of Finport, Smeg and Tech 2. They're tacking underneath them. They're about in the middle of the course. Few spiky little puffs coming down. We're about halfway up the first beat. 2 windwards, 2 leewards. Heat 6 of the championship. Tech 2, the winner in the first race today. There he is again, prominently positioned. Smeg in the winning group, more in the middle of the course. The Royal Oak going behind them. And coming out from the right, you'll see the Bird and Bear shortly. He'll have starboard on these boats. The winning group taking his stern. Smeg, what are they going to do? They're going to tack under him. Okay, so winning coming right. Smeg forced back into the middle. The Royal Oak have crossed Tech 2. Winning group coming here to the right. They'll tack just short of these moored boats at Point Piper. It's a lottery here, Tom. It's anyone's race here.
It is. Any one of these probably 7 boats could lead to this top mark.
Jimmy, I'm liking the right a bit here. I think there's a bit of pressure in the right. Looking at a few yachts there. What do you think?
Yeah,
Got a port starboard here.
port starboard on screen, but yeah, the right is
Finport
looking
called
like
across.
that's where you want to be now. So Finport might have done the right thing, go left early, right late, and join the dots. We've got
Royal
one of the
Oak have
best
done
in the
well
business
out
on board the boat here in Tom to pick which our shifts go and where and when to attack.
Oh, I'm just lucky, mate. I just close
You're not
my eyes
lucky.
and
You're
hope
not
for
lucky
the best.
100% of the time.
It's very lucky to win a gold medal, let me tell you.
Exactly.
The
No,
wind whisperer.
I told you, I'm lucky.
America's Cup, very lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moths Worlds. You're
Yeah.
probably one of the luckiest sailors I know, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
And not bad with a tennis racket either.
Okay.
These guys have got a nice right-hand shift here on the
Yeah.
right-hand side. Bird and Bear and Finport. You're right, Jimmy. The Finport left at the bottom and right at the top seems to be working for them pretty well.
You see Royal
They've got
Oaks.
really good pressure too. I think
Royal
they're
Oaks
gonna
in the
look good.
mix. You can't see him. He's behind Finport. Now we'll see him. And who gets the pressure and the puff? Finport's in a beauty. Little right-hander, a little bit more pressure. Smeg coming this way, also tacked underneath. Okay, Royal Oak leads of this group. And Tech 2's dropped back a little.
As has Winning
Winning
Group.
group, yeah.
Winning Group were, remember they Leebow tacked Smeg about a minute ago, and now it looks like Smeg, they're crossing them by a fair way. So
Now here's the race leader at the moment, the Royal Oak.
getting light up the top of the course here.
Aaron Everett, Courtney Marr and Charlie Gundy. They're about 400 metres short of the weather mark. And it is very light, as Tom said. Oh, there's some ugly moments looking up the fleet here. There's Finport.
Bird and Bear just tacked on a nice shift there. It wasn't a great tack, but you see their angle there. Port tack, there they are in the middle of the screen.
Smeg tack, just tacking the lure to Tech 2.
Continuing
Maker.
that battle.
So they're going to have a boat speed race into the mark. Looking for the left-hander.
Kitchen Maker have done well up here, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Being the most right-hand boat, they need to make it stick and get across the fleet. They're in a big left-hand shift at the moment, and they need to sail low and fast when they've got the pressure and try to cross over the fleet and consolidate that shift. That's what Tech 2 are doing. You can see them there
Yeah.
in the middle of, just off screen, just to the left of screen. Tech 2 and Smeg are in a bit of a battle, but they're really sailing low and fast.
The breeze has gone left here. And it's favoured. These boats, Tech 2 and Smeg. And to a certain extent, Bird and Bear. But the boats that went right, like Finport, Noakes Sailing, Shore and Partners, they've been punished heavily.
And Royal Oak crossed everyone, heading out the right-hand side.
There's everyone on the island bar having a watch on.
Having a martini or three.
I think Royal Oak have lost 8 positions in that one shift there.
Wow.
Just showing how tricky it is. And still very light. But probably Kitchen Maker could easily lead up here on the left-hand side of the course. It's off screen at the moment.
He's got good pressure coming into the mark. He's
Yeah,
actually
they've got-
overstood.
Well, it doesn't hurt in a day like this, I don't think. It's minimal. Doesn't have any more tax to do. Kitchen Maker, a young crew. Jordan Gertis, the skipper, Lachlan Doyle and Tom Quigley.
Yeah, look, it's going to be between Tech 2. I think Tech 2 are going to get there over
Yes,
Kitchen Maker.
He's just taken a header back. I
Yeah, a
think,
bit of
Kitchen
a
Maker.
right-hand shift favouring Tech 2. Tech 2 tacking on ley line now.
So the leading group will be Tech 2, Smeg, Bird and Bear and the Kitchen Maker. I'm not sure what order. If the Kitchen Maker now got a little,
Oh, no, good shift for
little
Kitchen
shift
Maker.
there. Will he get
no,
in?
Oh, no. They've just fallen
Rolling
out
the
of the
windward.
breeze.
Yeah, Tech 2 will lead. Their east sheets well overstood here because the breeze went right, which ruined Kitchen Maker's chances of leading, but he will be third around. Okay, well, here's no surprise. Tech 2 leads. Smeg 3 boat lengths behind him. and then Kitchen Maker, followed by Bird and Bear. Good consistent performance from those boys. They're around. Just no jibe sets, just a conventional sets. There's the Bird and Bear. He's around 4th. Smeg and Tech 2. Looks like another strong battle between them. And in the 5th position will be the winning group.
They're in a good position here. They are off the back of the front group, but they've got a nice gap to move forward. So they have a good run here. They can get back in the game.
Oh, the boat that's really suffered up here has been Noakes Sailing. They have gone backwards, unfortunately, as the race went on. They
We've
will
got
be
Royal Oak here, who were saying we're leading the fleet,
Yep.
sort of 3/4 of the way out the beat, and they're coming into the top
There's
mark
Finport
here.
around, just behind Appliance Online. There's Birkenhead Point Marina, and then the Royal Oak, as Tom said, they were well up early. Then Andu, well, they did okay. They've recovered from
Jibe
that
set.
capsize. Jibe set on the Royal Oak.
Jibe set's a good move
Oh,
here.
he's Andu
See
in a
if
little
Andu do it.
little puff. And he was the early leader, but capsized. Then the Queenslander. Shaw and Partners. And then the boat in the distance coming upwind is Noakes Sailing. Now, whether they've had an incident or not, they're way back. Then Noakes blew around now with Ilve on top of them.
Yandu here coming up to the top mark. They were in the mix there, so they've obviously had a problem too. Could have been with Noakes. Both of them dropped off a lot.
Yeah, well, Yandu, then Lumix, then Rag and Famish, and last around will be Noakes Sailing. So we're on the first Spinnaker run, the first of 2 Spinnaker runs, Heat 6 of the JJ Giltinan Championship. Racing for the Tony Reynolds Trophy. Series sponsored by the winning group. Shark Island we see there, and that's on screen is Shaw and Partners. Finport just jibing at the famous totem pole at Shark Island. And Appliances Online running in on starboard. Winning group just jibing in front of them.
So at the top mark, I was saying a jibe set might be on, and you can see Royal Oak were the only boat really to do it, and they've made a big
Done
big
well,
game.
I think, yeah.
They're going to overtake winning group, Appliances Online, Finport. Huge gain to Royal Oak there.
Halfway down the first run.
Simo jive on the Bird and Bear and Kitchen Maker just to avoid a yacht. But good little battle going on there.
Still light though, Jimmy, isn't it? Nothing really of significant pressure, but very shifty. Kitchen Maker and Bird and Bear. Julian out for 3rd position behind the leader Tech 2 and Smeg. Both running away on starboard jive out into midstream. Looking back down the fleet, there's a big splits in direction, and in both in the fleet and in the wind also. They're the 2 leaders. Watch out for So given the form, Tom, you'd probably say at this early stage, maybe a race in 2, but these boats, such a shifty day, isn't it? You never know really what's going to happen, but you've got a fair jump, these 2 now, Tech 2 and Smeg.
They do, yeah. And look, these are the two of the favourites. Obviously, Tech 2 are the favourite heading into this series, and today they're really showing why. They were in the pack, and they fought their way through at the top of their course. They did a really good job and got in front, and now they're starting to separate away. And Smeg also, regatta leader so far, and they're in good shape as well. So these two are starting to sail off the front of the fleet a little, and it's going to look good for them in the overall points if they finish in this position.
It's often a commentator's curse saying that, but who knows? At the moment, you'd say that they're nicely positioned to first and second. Smeg coming out midstream on starboard, Tech 2 running into Clark Island, just about to jibe now to come to the gate, and the position of the gate still probably favours the right-hand mark because there's more pressure out this side, but it looks as though Tech 2 is going for the right-hand gate looking downwind. Here he comes. Okay, Spinnaker coming down now.
They've extended really well down this
They
run.
have. And
Really good job.
nice breeze. The breeze is probably the strongest we've seen it looking upwind now. Sheeting on now. And Smeg have got a jibe and in, one and in. Here they come. Yes, they've jumped away nicely there, Tech 2. So one lap to go, one beat and one run to the finish. Smeg now around. About a 28-second delta there. And some nice little left-hand pressure coming. Bird Mare will be third. And then the Kitchen Maker fourth. Boats dropping. Spinnaker's okay. Bird and Bear Spinnaker still a little up. So is the Kitchen Maker going upwind with the Spinnaker half up or half down. The Royal Oak will be next. They've got themselves in front of the winning group.
Yep, that jibe said I think they picked up about 4 or 5 boats. They were the first boat out of the front pack to do it, and some good gains there.
See the Bird and Bear just now getting their Spinnaker put to bed. The fleet all going out on starboard tack. There's the winning group around in the 6th spot. Finport coming in next with appliances online. Oh, bit wobbly on the Finport. Tricky manoeuvre that. They've got it done. Birkenhead Point Marina will be next. Great overhead shots there. Shaw and Partners. And the Queenslander. Breeze still tricky. A lot of shifts.
Woody went around the opposite mark to everyone, Pete.
Well, he had to try something, I think. There was fair way back, and so will Noakes Blue, as Andu going round.
Oh no.
One mark, and Noakes Blue doing a bit of trawling. Oh. No,
Good save.
they've got it done, almost.
It's not in the water. That's a good start.
That's the main thing. So the majority of fleet are on their way up to the windward mark for the final time. Heat 6 of these championships. And the final 3 to come round, and Noakes Sailing, Bragg and Famish and Lazarus.
what's happened up the track, but from my eye, it looks like Tech 2 are now, they had a good lead, but I think they've doubled that lead. They went the left-hand side of the course, Smeg more to the middle, and I've got Tech 2 with a huge lead at the moment. So they've picked the shift out of the bottom mark and consolidated. Second place is still Smeg, Bird and Bear in third, and looks like Winning Group of them and Royal Oaks probably up to fourth now.
Catch the leaders shortly, but what Tom Slingsby's saying is that Tech 2 has really extended from away from Smeg. As you can see, Smeg and the Bird and Bear, but right up well advanced was the red sail insignia is Tech 2 in good, reasonable wind up there coming round point, the eastern side of Point Piper. He leads very clearly, Tech 2. Remember, he won the first heat today, the first race today. We're on Finport. Keegan York. There's Smeg, trying to hold on to second position at the moment. Fourth in the first race today, second at the moment, a point score leader. That's the Bird and Bear. Very shifty, Tom, isn't it? You know, the right looks as though it pays, then the left. Both Tech 2 and Smeg are going left, right up under Shark Island here.
Yeah, it is very patchy. The thing with these easterlies, with a normal breeze, a subtly a northeast breeze, you can really time the shifts, but here in these easterlies, there's no real rhyme or reason. You can't really time and get in sync. You just have to watch the wind on the water and look for pressure. It might be oscillating, it might go from left-hand side to right-hand side favoured, or it might be all left-hand side up one beat. You've really got to watch the water carefully.
See the different angle there. Tech 2's much lower than Smeg in the foreground, but now Smeg's coming down, and the weather mark is probably about 300 metres upwind now. Bird and Bear have gone hard right into Point Piper. Smeg looking for the left-hander. Tech 2 have now got it.
Winning Group are getting back into this too. Off screen right here, Winning Group, I think they rounded in 5th or 6th position, 6th position actually.
Correct.
And they're now up into 4th, and they've really gained a lot on Smeg and Bird and Bear. So they're sailing their way back into this race, and they need to if they want to stay in the top 3 overall in the overall point score.
Just come into a really best bit of pressure all day. They've really got a nice little gust there. And they're
Really wants to go that way.
really fighting hard to get third here, Winning Group. As Tom Slingsby said, they really needed to stay in touch on the point score. But up ahead, there's some massive shifts again. We can see Smeg and Tech 2.
There's third place at the moment, Bird and Bear.
Bird and Bear. He's now going left into Shark Island. But Tech 2 leads clearly. Winning Group trying to get into third spot. Smeg tacking off the eastern end of Point Piper. Yes, it's been some big shifts and big splits here.
It's a good shift for Smeg there.
Yeah, nice pressure on it.
They've done a good job consolidating their position.
Tech 2 have just kept on keeping on. They've sailed a very good leg here. They're going out towards the starboard tack lay line. And they'll come in. Looks reasonable wind here, Tom, between them and the mark.
Yeah.
They should be not far off this tack. But we're on Smeg. Come around now, we'll see Tech 2 shortly. Just tackle this Smeg. Top of screen, Bird and Bear and the winning group coming in on port. Oh, it's got fluky again up the top, and Bird and Bear almost in second spot. But while we're focusing on the race leader, he's on the starboard tack lay line, and a great battle for second between Bird and Bear, Smeg and the winning group. Bow to bow with Smeg and Bird and Bear. Meanwhile, Tech 2 is comfortably ahead. They're probably over the lay line here, just to his sheet slightly, accelerating down to the mark, which is about 40 metres ahead of them.
They're doing exactly, Pete, what Tom was saying that Smeg should have done in the first one. They just pinned their ears back and went for it, not worried about people.
They haven't worried about tacking on anyone. They haven't been worried about the overall points. They know that they've just got to go out there and win races to get back in this regatta, and that's what they're doing. A huge lead now. They've just sailed their own race, and they're looking great.
They're around and on their way to the finish of the 6th heat, having won the 5th heat earlier today. Nice set, running away towards Shark Island. And then the battle, that's Smeg on screen now. And he's going to be fighting hard to hold second spot here with the Bird and Bear coming in on starboard. The winning group just behind them. It's going to be very tight. So these three are going to fight it out for second place, where we thought Smeg was comfortably second at the end of the first 2 legs, but he's now third at best. Bird and Bear will be second. They were second in the earlier race today. James Doran, John Walton and Tom Clout. Good performance. Here goes Smeg at 4 boat lengths behind, and then same distance will be the winning group. Good set on the Bird and Bear. Winning group now. Bear await set. They've got the job done. Well done.
Bit of a gap back after these guys to 5th place, Royal Oak. This battle going on here between Bird and Bear, Smeg and winning group is an important one for the overall points. Smeg have a comfortable lead at the moment in the overall standings, but what happens when you have first and second in the regatta and you have this sort of scenario is if you flip these positions, it's essentially a 2-point turnaround in the overall points instead of a 1-point gain. So for these two here, winning group are really going to try to push hard to overtake Smeg, and if they can jump 2 boats and get ahead of Bird and Bear, all of a sudden it's a big gain to them in the overall points.
Nice puff here. Good puff rolling down to them, Jimmy. Winning group have just got it. Smeg
Just
will
at
get
the wrong time when Oakes was going below them.
Smeg will get it in a moment. Just off the totem pole at Shark Island. Running to the finish now. These 3 boats battling it out for second, third and fourths. Tech 2 going across on Port Jive, way in the distance. It's a nice, comfortable lead, you'd say. And we've seen stranger things happen, but at the moment they look as though that they could have their second win of the day. Jack McCartney, Charlie White and Lewis Brake. They're running round down into the middle of the course, but we're on these three because this is where the real excitement is for the second place getters. Bird and Bear jibing first. Winning group jibing with them.
Now in that scenario, Smeg have to be patient. They can't jibe for a little while. Their wind will be too disturbed by these guys. So, but they've got good pressure down their side. They look like they've done pretty well here. Just glancing at it, Smeg have got more pressure than the other two, I'd say.
Just got to get through that transition next to the island there, Tom, don't you? And then
yeah, they've done a good job. I like where they're jiving here. I think they've got a good opportunity to catch Bird and Bear, get a boat in between them and winning group, which will be very good for the overall points. I like their positioning there on the wind shift. Bird and Bear and winning group, sort of more in the middle of the course. Smeg extended. And they're just off to the left-hand side of screen. There you can see them now. Smeg are lifting back up. You can see Bird and Bear are in a little bit nicer the header, and Smeg jibe back out. They realised that they weren't quite in sync. They weren't in phase with the ship. And I think they're jibed into really good pressure. I like what Smeg's doing.
Really good gust rolling down to them. Look at this here behind them, Tom.
Yep. No, I think they're in phase, in sync. And it'll be interesting to see if they can get the jump on Bird and Bear. And that'll be really nice, getting a boat in between themselves and winning group. They've got great pressure there. Yeah, they've got more wind to come down this side actually. If they jibe in sort of 20-25 seconds, it'll time them pretty well with the next ship. See what they decide to do.
Michael Coxon at the helm. Won this championship in 2017. Tech 2 getting close to the finishing line. He's probably about 90 seconds away from crossing the line. So a wonderful day for Tech 2. 2 victories. Michael Coxon looking round. When to jibe. This is the key. This is the key to it all. Will he be second? Will he be fourth?
Yeah, Bird and Bear in great pressure back in the middle of the course now, so this will be close.
Okay, Tech 2. There he is, about 10 seconds from the finish. There he goes. Terrific performance. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with the protest tomorrow from yesterday's misadventure, but we'll let the jury decide that. But today belongs to Tech 2. Here goes Smeg. Ah.
It's going to be close. I think Bird and Bear is still going to get there.
I think they will. I think Smeg will get... Oh, this is
It's
very
going to
close.
be close. It's going to be very
close. Smeg, Bird and Bear, Smeg. Oh, Smeg right at the committee boat here, at the pin. I think Smeg. Oh,
that was close.
Dear, oh dear, I couldn't pick it. Winning, the only thing I'm sure of is the winning group will be fourth. We'll try and get a confirmation on who got second.
I'm waving, I'm doing that.
Well, that was exciting. What are your thoughts, Tom?
Look, yeah, I mean, Tech 2, great race, 2 first places. As I said before, you don't lose talent overnight, and those guys have plenty of it. They showed it today. Depending on how the protest goes tomorrow morning, they're back in this series. It's regatta's wide open if they win that protest.
Okay, we're focusing now on 5th. position, and it'll be the Royal Oak trying to fend off Shore and Partners coming across to the Red Spinnaker. Appliance is online, and the Kitchen Maker. We'll try and find out who actually got second then, if we can. It was very tight. I think the Oak might have, Smeg might have got there, or Bird and Bear, I thought at one stage got it, but I think Smeg might have just got it, Tom. It's hard to say. It's hard
very
to know.
hard to say. We weren't quite on the finish line, but
Had a boat blocking us there, I couldn't get in there.
yeah, all good.
Just should have run him over, Jimmy.
We've got 2 hulls. He's got 1. We can go through him.
Okay, here's the battle for 5th. And again, this is close.
This is really close. You've got Finport coming in here as well. They're not going to lead this pack, but I think Shore and Partners might just sneak ahead of the pack.
Yeah, Shore and Partners 5th.
It's close with Royal Oak. Very close, but not sure who got there.
Shore and I think the Oak will be 6th.
Finport
Finport
next.
7. Appliance is having their best outing in 8th. 9th, the Kitchen Maker. And then Andu and Yandu. Remembering that Andu had a capsize in the first beat to windward. So a reasonable recovery from them. They will come in 10th. And then Yandu 11th. And then the Birkenhead Point Marina have had a very good day. They'll be 12th. So that's another very, very good race. But the day, as I said earlier, belonged to Tech 2, Jack McCartney, Charlie White and Lewis Brake. 2 outstanding wins, and see if we can find out who got second. We're just trying to find out. Jimmy, our captain and commander, is just trying to get onto the race committee to see between Bird and Bear and Smeg who got second, as we're watching Birkenhead Point Marina come across the line. And following him will be the 2 Noakes boats, Noakes Blue and Noakes Sailing.
It's a tough race for Noakes Sailing. They've been up the pointy end of the fleet for the last few days, so it's a little bit interesting to see them this far back.
Can you just confirm who got second in that one? We just got locked out at the pin. Is that Smeg, correct?
Smeg.
Okay, we've just got confirmation from race committee that Smeg was second. That's a valuable point gain there. Bird and Bear 3rd. So a solid day for the Bird. 2nd and a 3rd. Tech 2 first. Smeg a 4th and 2nd. As Noakes Sailing go across the line. There'll be a story what happened to them, I'm sure. And Noakes Blue will be next. So, Tom, as the race winds down, firstly, give us your thoughts on the day and looking ahead for 3 more races to go. Well, I'll try and work out some very provisional points.
Yeah, look, we today belong to Tech 2. They enjoy these conditions. They're fast, they sail well, and they showed it today. 2 first places, they sort of decent starts, worked their way up the track in decent top mark positions, and right at the top of the course each time they took advantage and got some better wind shifts. They flat out just sailed better than the other teams at the top of the racetrack in the puffy stuff. So today belonged to them, and we'll have to wait and see. If they win their protest tomorrow morning, they are the regatta leader. If they lose their protest tomorrow, they are still a fair bit behind the leaders. But for me, it was a really good day by Smeg. Bird and Bear had a great day as well. They were 2 top 3 places. But for me, Smeg, being the regatta leader, all the pressure's on them. It's theirs to lose. And they came out and had a 2nd and a 4th in really testing, trying conditions. And they didn't have to go win both races today. They just had to put in a good showing, be consistent, get good results, and that's what they did. They're not taking huge risks. You don't see them out hard on one side of the racetrack taking a lot of risk. They're there mixing it up in the middle of the track, not making mistakes, chipping away, and that's why they're the regatta leaders over halfway through now.
And Jimmy, your thoughts of the day?
Pretty much so. Echo what Tom said. I was like blown away by Smeg. Like I thought they would have gone on with that. They did exceptionally well. Bird and Bear, Doz, birthday boy, finally pulled out a couple of good races. As Tom said, the day belonged to Tech 2. They just showed, what they needed to come out and do. They really had to respond from the past couple of days when they had things not go their way, and I think they came out and gave the right response overall. Other notables, I think Birkenhead Point had a good day all around, and I think everyone's sort of lifting at the right time, but some have left it a little bit too late. But definitely the winning group guys, it was an up-down day for them, unfortunately. They really needed things to go their way on that last run down when they jibed off at the Shark Island at the wharf there. As Tom alluded to earlier on in the broadcast, that can go one of two ways, and unfortunately it went the other way for them in that situation. And then the swim that they had in the first race, but still a fifth is better than a 10th. They're still in touch, I gather. So it's all to still play for. We've got 3 races to go. Anything can happen, and a lot of it has hinging on the protest from Tech 2. I guess we'll know more tomorrow about midday when we get over here.
Okay, well, just to recap, 2 races today, heats 5 and 6 of the JJs. First race today, Tech 2 first, Bird and Bear second, Noakes Sailing third, Smeg 4, Shore and Partners 5, Birkenhead Point Marina 6, Noakes Blues 7, Andu 8, Yandu 9 and Royal Oak 10. Sixth heat, second race today. Again, Tech 2, Smeg by 1 second, I'd say, over Bird and Bear. Winning group 4th, Shore and Partners 5th, Royal Oak 6th, Finport 7, Appliances Online 8th, Kitchen Maker 9th and Andu 10th. And my provisional point score, I must stress that this is provisional as I've done it very quickly on the run. This is with no discards and counting up to 6 places. And remember, after 9 races, you can drop your worst performance on the points at the moment. And this means that Tech 2 is still counting a disqualification and a non-finish. So that will be resolved, as Jimmy said, tomorrow. But we'll still see it as say it as we see it at the moment. Smeg leads on 16 points. Then there's a long gap to the winning group and Bird and Bear, both on 32. Then on 36, we have Andu, Shore and Partners. And then a fair way back then to Finport and Noakes Sailing. So I say it's provisional, but obviously Smeg is a clear leader. They're counting 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a 4th and a 6th. But tomorrow the protest will decide a lot. So we look forward to your company there. It's only 1 race tomorrow. It'll be on the long course. The early forecast is a building nor'easter, and we would think that is going to be another exciting race. All the heats so far have been very, very exciting, very close. We've enjoyed bringing this to you. So it's time to say farewell. To James Bury, thank you for your commanding effort skippering this vessel and your comments. It's been absolutely terrific. A lot of dodging today, a lot of spectator boats, a lot of yachts. Did a masterful job. Tom Slingsby, thank you for the last 2 days. I believe you're on the plane to West Australia tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah. So I hope you'll
still
be watching us on screen, which will be good. So we've enjoyed your company. Go well, stay safe. And Chits and the boys at the back end of the camera cat, we thank you again. Some marvellous shots out there today. So on behalf of the boys, this is Peter Shipway signing off from Sydney Harbour. We'll be back tomorrow for the 7th heat of the JJ Giltinans. The championship brought to you by the winning group and Smeg a leader on the points, but the day belonged to Tech 2 of Jack McCartney, Charlie White and Lewis Brake winning both races. So good afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow.